You're now joining the meeting. Please wait for the leader to admit you to the... You're now joining the meeting.
Springfield Township resident.
You are not allowed to unmute. To raise your hand, press star 5. This meeting is being transcribed.
From the Levy Corporation for any special permits, variances, ordinances, or access to Ormond Brook. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Stephanie. We did have Gary reach out from the Road Commission. He sent you a letter. Did you get that?
I did not.
It went out this morning, so she'll be getting that shortly.
They come up with a letter, and I brought it up to him at our meeting.
Okay.
Told him to reach out to you.
Okay.
So, can you explain to her how, with development and infrastructure, how the protocol is, how cities got to approve it and go through the channels?
Yeah, it all goes in order. We have our only basis in this is relative. We have to provide access by law to any new developments. So the development that goes in, the type style is all left at the local planning level. So, and we haven't been given any request for permits for driveway or any access to our road at this point in time. When it is, we do look at all those things you brought up, but by law, we were limited to what we are allowed to, have to say.
Do all that. I appreciate the letter. Want to make sure that you all know where we're coming.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else wishing to speak, or anybody wanting to call in? Okay. We'll go on to public comments. I mean, the minutes of the May 22nd meeting. So moved. Second, discussion. Any minutes need to be corrected, or for that, do you get a motion to approve the minutes as read? I'll second support. All in favor, say aye. 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 Opposed? Item number 6, disbursements. So moved. A and B. Discussion. I have one on some lodging. Yeah. Don't really, but they go to a meeting, they stay at the same hotel, or they stay wherever they want to, or is there any policy, or?
Typically, they stay where the meeting is, unless it's full.
Okay.
That's typically because most of these conferences or meetings are at hotels.
Okay. I did see two on the same days, 2 different hotels, so that was probably the reason.
I don't know what particular one you're talking
All
about.
right, I'll go right to it.
Need a name?
On 4, 6, it looks like. Colleen Campbell. Colleen Campbell. Colleen Campbell, Christopher Gordon.
Nick, we get a number. It could be MPSI. I don't know.
That's probably what it is.
MPSI.
MPSI, Michigan Public Service Institute. So there is probably not enough room at the end. That happens up there.
Okay, just wondering. I thought it was, just want to make sure. And then we have 2 other ones here for capital outlay. 5 or 6B. Item 514323, Lee Industrial Contracting. 83,600.
Yeah, I see it. That's trying to remember. I'll have to check and get back to you. But you approved the contract. I'll check on it and I'll.
But was that for I think that was that for the sign division building?
Oh, the sign shop? The HVAC for the sign shop?
For district.
It might have, no, we replaced an HVAC on the sign shop. We might have, I'll have to check and see what exactly that one is.
Yeah, but they just built that sign shop like 8 years ago, didn't
No, they built the electrical shop. The sign shop has been there and we did some,
We just remodeled it.
we remodeled some of it, but we didn't do all the HVAC units. We did one for the lab that is high, air exchange because of the views in the lab, but we didn't replace all the units. So those come up occasionally and I'll check it and get back to you by email.
they? All right, I have another one, 514345, thermal mechanical services.
They're one of our HVAC services, I believe.
So we use thermal, we use,
LG rules.
what's the other?
I think that's, there's the two of them.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carries. Item number 7.
We can do A and B. It's recommended board approve the permits and the up the road application as submitted by staff.
Second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Item number 8, we can do A and B. It's recommended board adopt the resolutions accepting the deeds and easements for recording.
Second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Number 9, we can do A through D. It's recommended board adopt the resolutions approving the road closures listed.
Second, any discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? None opposed, motion carries.
Item number 10 is to recommend board approve the contract authorization for gravel haul.
Second, discussion. So this is, any other people bid this or just one place?
This is extending last year's, Danny's aggregate was fortunate enough to hold their 2024 price, so we just extended it.
Are we using more than anticipated or just to restock?
Township program, townships usually provide quite a bit of funding for it. So it's tailgate spread and we grade it and chloride it, yeah.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, not opposing, motion carries.
Bill 11 A and B is recommend board approve the local cost participation agreements with the Township of Holly and the Township of Commerce.
So moved. Second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, none being, motion carries.
Item number 12 is recommend board approve the task order agreement with Somat Engineering.
So moved. Second. Any discussion? So this is, do engineering work to see what's needed?
Yes, to provide geotechnical investigations, evaluate the conditions of the soil, and provide recommendations for the pavement.
Have we ever done this in-house before?
No, we have not. At least not since I've been here, I don't know.
Have you ever done this in-house before, Dennis? Or do we have the capabilities?
I don't think we quite have the staff to do it. But, and we keep trying to recruit for his soils and testing.
Right, and we done it enough.
Yeah.
And when did we dissolve not doing it?
When staff started, when it's harder to get staff.
And that was 5 years, 10 years?
How do you think? Probably 4 or 5 years ago before COVID. COVID really hurt us. And we've been trying to recruit HRs. Recruiting, and finally we were getting a few in the testing lab, but
So we have an active plan to hire people and get this, so we don't have.
Well, we have an active plan to fill our soils testing area as best we can. Now, when we have peaks, we're gonna go out and hire consultants. When the workload's high in the summertime, we need to be focused on testing our current projects. So it's all workflow. When we need to hire consultants, we do that, but we want to keep our staff level.
But my point is, I think we need to look at doing this in-house
Well,
and using the amendments come in and you have them come in and try to hire them people with engineering and
we have an active inspector technician to development program. We have an active civil engineering development program. It's a matter of getting people that are interested in those sorts of things to apply.
all right, and we're going to career days and
Yes.
we're
The matter is that when you make an offer, then there's a series of post-offer screenings that employees or prospective employees have to meet. And we've had a flood of people that are unable to meet those criteria.
Yeah.
So despite all the effort and investment in bringing them in and making an offer and have it and accepted, they can't meet the post-offer criteria to actually start with us. So then we have to start all over. And it's particularly in the inspector realm, we've had approximately 8 that have been extended offers and not been able to meet the post-offer criteria. So that makes us starting over with every single one of
do
them.
we go out to high schools and do career days?
We do go out to some high schools, yes, but our employees have to be of an age of 18 before they can start with us. And to be an inspector, they have to have some experience. Now, they would be eligible to join the development program. We currently, I believe, have 4 inspectors in the development program. So we currently have 4 in there, and I think we have 3 or 4 entry-level engineers in there. So,
And who goes from the road commission to the career days?
someone on my staff.
I go to quite a few. I've never seen a road commission at any school district or career day or community career day.
Well, maybe we should compare lists.
Okay.
We can share with you the ones that we go to,
Okay.
and you can share with us the ones that you go to. Okay?
Yeah, but they usually heat up like the last 2 months. Now it kind of slowed down because it's cooled off.
And we're going to start to heat up because we're going to be all registered at the universities.
Okay.
So that's actually starting probably in August. We're registering right now for that. So
We need a motion to approve this subcontract award. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None being, motion carries. Item number 13.
Recommend board approve the interlocal agreement with Oakland County for IT service.
So moved. Second. Any discussion? This is a yearly thing that we do?
Every 5
Every 5
years.
Nothing's changed and
Nope, it's all the same. It's a county collaboration. We get services and we pay for our portion, county pays for theirs, facilities, WRC, so it's just a county collaboration. Yeah, we get GIS for free and we get aerial photos for free, so.
so we're sharing our resources. And
Absolutely.
that's great.
That's what this is, data sharing essentially.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? None being, motion carries. Item number 14.
Receive bids for filters for our annual quantities. It's recommended the board award it to A1 Truck Parts.
Second. Discussion. This is just stock inventory, right, to have in place, ready to go?
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Opposed? None being, motion carries. Item number 15A.
15A, receive bids for our Cooley Lake Road over Elizabeth Lake Canal culvert replacements. Recommend board award it to Superior Contracting.
Second. Any discussion?
Don't work on the past, correct?
Yes, we have.
Lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? None being, motion carries. 15, B.
Receive bids for Rossdale Drive over the Cass Lake Canal. Once culvert lighting, it's recommended the board award it to Municipal Contractors Group.
Second. Any discussion? Have we ever done this work ourselves?
No.
It's too big or?
Specialized equipment, and specialized materials.
All in favor, say aye. 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 Opposed? None being, motion carries. Item number 15C.
Receive bids for Clarkson Road at Camp Agawam Settlement Repair. It's recommended the board award it to Superior Contractor.
So moved. Second. Any discussion? Same question. Have we ever done this work before? In-house?
Not this large. This, again, they specialize equipment, shovels with extended reach. And in this case, I can believe we're using tires, ground up tires as a lightweight fill because it's over soft material. You can talk more about it. So.
Right. Essentially, that's correct. So tire derived aggregate. So essentially rubber underneath as part of the pavement structure itself. At least while I've been here, we have not used that material specifically or applying it in our construction projects. So especially using contractors in this case who are familiar with this will be helpful.
This is something new. We're going to try and see how it works, right?
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? None being, motion carries. Item number 15D.
Receive bids for our Haggerty Road over the Sealy Drain culvert replacement. It's recommended award to Deponio Contract.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 16.
Recommended board approve the first. Oh, that's right.
15A.
Yep. E.
I'm sorry.
Receive bids for Tamarack Lane over the Stony Creek culvert lighting. It's recommended board awarded to Tim and Sons Construction.
So moved. Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? None. None being, motion carries. Item number 16.
Recommended board approve the My Deal purchase of our new phone system replacement from Trace 3.
Second. Discussion. So the phone system made now is how old? 5 years. 5 years.
It wasn't as advertised. So we went out looking for a better phone system and we found this one. Currently we're paying $78,000 a year and now we'll be paying $35,000 a year. So we got a good cost savings and it's a way more robust system with a lot more features. Great. It's a really good deal for us.
I know they're more expensive and a lot of things tied to it too, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. Everything's database now.
In our office, we got to switch phones out to keep ours going. You guys doing that?
Oh yeah, we get on new phones. With this purchase, we'll get on.
But right now, when your phones are breaking down, you got to grab different phones to keep it working. Or
yeah, I mean, the desk phones are not as heavily used as the cell phones. We use those a little bit more than the desk phones. But yeah, we replace them as needed.
Okay. All right. All in favor, say aye. 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 Opposed, motion carries. Item number 17, new business.
I have none, Mr. Chair.
You have no new business?
None.
Anybody have new business? The board has new business. We have a new business regarding Dennis Kohler. There's a special resolution. Read this, please.
Dennis Kolar. Whereas Dennis Kolar has been employed by the Road Commission for Oakland County since June 4th, 1985. And whereas while employed with the Road Commission, Dennis has filled multiple roles, most of them in leadership, including Civil Engineer 1, Civil Engineer 2, Civil Engineer 3, Design Engineer, Maintenance Operations Engineer, Director of Central Operations, Director of Highway Maintenance, Deputy Managing Director, and Managing Director. And whereas Dennis has served as Managing Director of the Road Commission since 2012 and continues to lead the agency on a daily basis, he is highly respected among peer agencies and frequently called upon statewide for his expertise. Whereas on June 4th, 2025, Dennis celebrated 40 years of employment with Road Commission for Oakland County. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of County Road Commissioners hereby recognizes and thanks Dennis Kolar for his commitment and 40 years of service to the Road Commission of Oakland County and congratulates him on this remarkable accomplishment.
Yeah, one.
Can we get a picture for Dennis? Over?
Yeah.
1/3 of life.
1/3 of the life of the agency. 40, 80, 120.
Photo bomb in the background.
It's like engineering that.
Yeah, perfect.
1/3 of you.
Yeah, I think I was in first grade.
We'd like to hear a speech from Dennis. On his 40 years of when he started, and do you ever think he'd rise up the ranks like this?
Well, when I first stopped here, I didn't think I'd be here more than a couple or 3 years. I've met a lot of great people here. Met a lot of great mentors. And some of them have passed, but it's been a great place to work. I love public service. It's challenging, but I've always had great staff. I've always had great road commissioners. So 40 years goes in a blink of an eye. Yeah, it really does. From when I first got here to now, almost seems like yesterday. Except my hair is later. But thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And how many people make it 40 years at the Road Commission? There not too many, right?
You're right.
Huh?
And Bailey before you, 46, right?
He wasn't 46, was he?
Someone for 40.
I think that's 47.
Probably got less than a handful.
No, Johnny Jones had. Yeah.
Oh, I heard that. He had a lot of time at the
Ken Daly had like 44 or something like that, I thought. And then,
What did Paz have? Where'd it go?
Paz had 41 or 2.
Okay.
Thank you.
I knew
A handful out there, so just a handful.
Not many.
Full head of hair, Dennis, right?
He always talks about color on color. Don't complain about the color, geez.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dennis, for you still staying and keeping the ball going, you know.
We're doing the best we can. We fight every day, but I have great staff. Great staff.
If I could just interject here, as a thank you for your leadership and mentorship, we've put together a little celebration across the hall.
Oh, okay. Beer? Okay, well, thanks.
Any other new business? Nothing for legal, nothing, Joe, you have anything? I don't see old business on this agenda. All right.
Oh, we didn't have any old business.
All right, well, we had a morale issue I brought with Gary, and then you put up, the little memo that went out.
Yep.
That's the first step in improving the morale.
Well, the first step is trying to, if you want to quell, whatever you want to call it, the rumors out there that, you know, again, that we had this, we talked about upstairs, all that COVID. And get all that COVID money. got a little piece, the count they saw, the employees saw that the county had 243 million. Oh, we're separate. We didn't get that. Just like the cost of healthcare. I think I mentioned to you before, state law dictates you either use the hard cap or you have to pay 20%. The previous board chose to use the hard cap, and it's turned out to be less. Or would you say the average is 13% instead of 20? Talked about the healthcare plans changing. The healthcare plans haven't changed. And if anything, they've been enhanced. But I don't think they have it when they have it. So the first step is to try to put the facts out and say, here, this is why we do what we do. Talk about 16-hour rule. Okay, we were the first road agency in the state to say we don't want our drivers driving till they fall down, and the 16-hour rule isn't mandatory. That's just the maximum we can work. And we tell our drivers, if you're tired at 12 hours, go home. If you're tired at 13 hours, go home. Tired at 10 hours, go home. We don't want you hurting yourself or somebody else. So that's a maximum. The 50% overtime rule. That came to us because before we had it, you had, the real good workers that would work everything. And we still have a good workforce that wants to work every hour. And they came to us and said, look, these guys that are only working 10% or less or not working much overtime during the winter, we have to do something to get them to work more overtime so we're not burning out. I mean, that's how these things have come. The compensation study. There's a union president, an association president shows up at our budget hearing when we had him in Pontiac, essentially demanding that we do a compensation study. So we hire one of the best in the business, the one that Oakland County general government used. We hire them. We get the results, and anytime you do a compensation study, there's going to be some that aren't very happy and some that will be happy. We do that, at least the two foreman groups have accepted it. The professional and technical have accepted it, but the hourly aren't accepting it. And that's one of our challenges. We have the electrical technicians, and our mechanics should make significantly more. And the odd thing is that the truck drivers, which the contract they signed was 3% increase, the compensation study, if they would have agreed to it on a letter of understanding, they would have had a 3.67% raise. And the union turned it down. But that's what I'm saying, these facts, Commissioner Erickson, these facts have to get out there so they understand. We want a good workforce. We have.
Well, as long as we're looking into it and sitting down, we got to get I appreciate you starting something, and hopefully we'll carry it on, get to the bottom of it. So, but it does got to be addressed.
Right. Well, and we're going to have to discuss how do we handle what just happened on Monday.
What was that?
For the office staff canceling the building. That that has an effect on the office staff. Okay. So we have to how do we handle that?
Yeah. And then I talked to you about vehicles being taken home. We would like to see our signs on them, vehicles that you take home at night. So
yep,
hopefully that will be addressed.
Yep, we can do that. And
then EV charging system. Do we have any installed yet for the employees, or where are we at with that?
We'll go ahead, Mary.
Well, there were two that we had planned to put with the new building. So now we're going to have to go out for bid elsewhere and figure out where to put them. But we'll work on that,
Yeah. We're automotive capital in the country.
right?
And people want to drive to work and embrace this EV technology personally. And it'd be good for the morale, I believe, to have some stations where they have the opportunity to do that, you know. In our fleet,
Well,
I'm taking a taste of that.
I think, this is my opinion, if we're putting EV stations in for people that pull up and are visiting us to plug in, that's one thing, and maybe we have a vendor so they pay. But we're going to create a disparity if people have employees that have EVs here get to plug in. But I drive my ICE vehicle or even a hybrid vehicle, and I have to pay for going back and forth to work. I think that's going to be a problem, because when we talked about it before, I had a couple of staff members come in and say, are you going to give me a fuel card if you're going to allow employees to charge their vehicle for free here? So it might be better to have a vendor.
They have outside vendors.
Well, I'm just, when you say to me, I took it as we're going to give it to our employees for free. And on the surface, that sounds great, but everybody else who drives an ICE vehicle or a hybrid is going to say, well, what about me?
Now, this is for residents, and we're in this hub here, Automotive Alley.
Well, and we were working on looking at, we did apply for a grant to look at the Bolger EV trucks, which were not quite medium duty, but and then that company went bankrupt, and then it came out. So we'll see. And we're also looking at the Slate pickup trucks. We're having our fleet managers having conversation about those. I don't know if you saw those or not.
No, I thought we were going to purchase, we have one on order or purchase one at one time, weren't we?
Well, we had the grant was written, or
Right.
we wrote up the grant application, and that was
And
turned down.
we're
Yeah.
denied.
Was that federal grant or state grant?
State grant. The problem with that particular grant is private companies were able to apply for that. Would Brad expand the business?
Yeah, one of the reasons why we didn't get, one of the reasons they said we didn't get it is because one of the check boxes is that you have to expand. You have your business had to prove itself that you were going to expand outside of your current business model.
Expand the fleet or?
Expand your business. It's going to help your business out somehow. So this EV vehicle is going to be beneficial to your business and grow it, because it was for growth. And it was hard for us to prove that we're going to grow the road commission, right?
So unless we're going to annex a piece of just
right, yeah. It was that's how it was written. Yeah, that was one of the big reasons why they denied it. Yeah. So we got to get really creative on the next round of how Smith it out, but they said about a year or two that that group or that grant will come out again. So we're keeping our eyes and ears to the ground on that.
Okay. Any other discussion? Need a motion to adjourn? Second.
Thank you.